Good morning everyone, happy Easter. Today is Easter Sunday and I thought, seeing as my wife's not home, I'm going to get this terrace painted, all these white walls, because it needs to be done. And the reason it needs to be done now is because we're going to put new bamboo up all around these walls here. And if you saw the last video, you'll know that I took that off, and obviously I can't put the new bamboo up until these walls are painted, because if the bamboo's up I'm not going to be able to get a good coverage. So I'm going to get that done anyway, so let's crack on with it. Okay, that's all the edgings masked all the way around. You can see there's the masking tape all the way around there. The reason I've actually put that out is, one, it gives me a nice line, but secondly, I don't need to paint the actual skirting boards because we're going to be retiling over them. So it's just going to make it look a little bit tidier, having a nice white line all the way around. So anyway, let's get this painting done. And there we go guys, about 4 hours later and the terrace is all painted, and I have to be honest and say it looks so much better. But really excited now to get the new floor tiling down, get that door changed for the PVC one, get this bamboo up around the edge in here, that'll look nice. Get some ceramics on these walls and some nice ceramic pots with plants in, and then of course some really nice terrace furniture. But yeah, looks so much better. It really does. It just looks clean, it looks tidy, and the main thing is it's now waterproofed. So yeah, pleased with that. Okay, and then there's one other little job. I've still got the hat on, by the way, because it's that hot up on that terrace. I haven't even taken it off yet. But yeah, there's one other little job which I've got to do, which I'll show you now, which is just here. This is back in the kitchen, and you can see there's a little bit of staining that's come through there on the ceiling, so that must be one of the areas that I obviously missed with the stain block. Okay, this is one of the products I'm going to be using, which is Pintura Manchas, which basically is a stain blocker. This is cheap. This is around €6 or €7 from Ottoman, but it does a really good job and it's perfect for these ceilings. And then, like I say, once this goes on, we'll let this dry for a few hours, and then I'll just touch up with some white paint. The paint I use is again from Ottoman, and it's just a paint that's good for areas where there's humidity, such as the bathroom or the kitchen where you're cooking and this steam. So yeah, as simple as that. One of the things with this product is, because it's an oil-based product, it absolutely reeks and like strong, you know, really strong chemical smell. So make sure you're well ventilated when you're using this product, because if you don't, it can make you feel a little bit dizzy. So yeah, really, really strong. But anyway, let's get this up there. Okay, as simple as that. You can see just a light coat of that on there, and that will stop any of those stains reappearing. So we'll leave that to dry for a few hours, and then I'll just touch over with some white paint. Okay, so the first job this morning is to get this sample in here off to the health clinic. This is for a prostate screening, which obviously if you're a guy and you're over 50, it's important. So I'm going to get that delivered. But first I need to start the bike, because these bikes are great for bombing about, but if you don't start them often, the batteries die quick. So fingers crossed it starts straight away for me, because it hasn't been started for a good 10 days, I'd say. Okay, she started up first time, so that's a good sign. So anyway, let's get the sample delivered. Looks like somebody English has just moved into the village, that van there. English removal company. Okay, so I'm just going into Gibraltar. I'm going to fill my car up, seeing as I'm down this way, because it's like £1 a litre. And then I'm going into Leroy Merlin to pick up the tiles for the terrace. So anyway, let's get Gibraltar done first, get across the border there. Okay, so we're now entering the border, and this queue, I used to come in here every day, well not every day but several times a week for 10 years, and this queue the border queue used to go all the way back on that road that we just travelled, and right the way up to the frontier where you show your passports to the customs and police and what have you. But yeah, anyway, this is the border into Gibraltar. Spent many an hour queuing here over the years, and it's not something that I used to relish at all. It was one of those things where I can remember on occasions finishing work and taking 4 or 5 hours to get home, purely because I've been sat on this border for all those hours. So yeah, it still goes on now, but it's not as bad as it used to be back in those days. But yeah, a terrible border nonetheless. I mean, there's a little bit of queuing here today, look, but nothing that bad. And that's the border, literally just there. That's where you pass through. So yeah, this is a little queue really, we can handle this one. And this is the bit that we queue at, just here, as you can see, to go through passport control. But anyway, let's get through. I'm gonna have to put the phone down, so I'm not meant to film here. There you go, 41 litres, £46 and 24p. So how's that compared to the price of fuel in the UK right now? Okay, that's the fuel put in. Now, to go across the border back into Spain. Nice easy queue coming out though, as you'll be able to see in a second. That's it, that's the queue. I don't know, 15, 20 cars, and then we come out there, back over there into Spain. But this is the airport of Gibraltar, just here that you can see. It's a tiny little airport. It's modern, and it's very good because it's so small, you don't get anybody in there. But anyway, let's get across this border, so I'm gonna have to stop filming and get to Leroy Merlin's, where we get these tiles. Okay, so that's the border done. This is now the other side of the border. So there's Gibraltar. Now we're back in Spain, as you can see just here. So yeah, pretty easy crossing that. But that border is going to be coming down soon. I wish it would have been down before I stopped working in Gibraltar. It would have saved me hundreds and hundreds of hours over the years. But it is what it is. Just looking at the tiles, trying to select. What we're going to do is we're going to go for a terracotta like this, and then a pattern one that you probably saw if you've been watching the channel. We're going to have a few pattern ones dotted over the place, so we're just looking at what's what, so see what we want to go for exactly, but we've got a rough idea. Okay, and these are the tiles that we bought. So we've got these patterned ones that are going to be scattered, and then these are the terracotta tiles. Good morning, guys. So today it's just a day at home. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm got a little job I need to do to the front door. I varnished the outside, I don't know, about 2 months ago, something like that, but I didn't do the inside. I didn't think I needed to do the inside, if I'm honest, but I just happened to be reading up yesterday, and apparently both sides need to be done. So it's a nice easy job. It's actually quite a pleasurable job to do that. So I'm gonna crack on with that, get that out of the way, plus it gives me something to do. So anyway, I'm just gonna make a coffee, take my coffee down there while I'm doing the door, and get that done. And then you remember this wicker we bought yesterday for the terrace? I don't know why, but I woke up this morning and the first thing I thought of was we haven't bought enough. I think we're about 4 or 5 inches short. So we're going to have to go and get another one of those, which is a pain. But for some reason I woke up this morning, it's the first thing that popped into my head. Okay, and this is the front door. So as you can see, I've already varnished that. I've done that, like I say, a couple of months or so back. But on the inside, I never disclosed the hatch. On the inside, I never did it. I didn't think it needed doing. I thought it looked all right like that. But apparently to balance the protection on it so that all the moisture and that doesn't come out this side, because this side's untreated, it needs to be done. So anyway, let's get this done. Okay, that's the first coat of that done, so I'll leave that a day or two and then I'll give it a light sand down and then I'll give it a second coat. But looks so much better actually. But do you know what, out of all the jobs that I've done around this house, there's something so pleasurable about varnishing. I'd happily just sit there and varnish all day, I really would. But anyway, that's done for now. Like I say, we'll get a second coat on in a day or two. Okay, just bought this ottoman, I think they're called, for the bottom of the bed. So just going to quickly put this together, see how we get on. It's only 6 bits, so it shouldn't take many minutes. And there we go. Took about, I don't know, 20 minutes I suppose, 25 minutes, but we've now got an ottoman at the bottom of the bed. And do you know what? Absolutely brilliant, because it doesn't matter how big your house is, you can never have enough storage. So pleased with that. That's all done. ¿No?
Sí,
Por ejemplo, en Torre Guadiaro hay mucho también.
y Torre está creciendo muchísimo más.
Sí,
Lo que tiene de bueno Torre
pero en este zona hay siempre
sí,
construcción.
no, esta zona siempre pasa que esto también es
Sí.
vivir aquí en la costa, en esta zona.
Pero no hay espacio, ¿no?
No, esa es la gran verdad, porque ahora están construyendo más en la zona de la montaña.
Okay, that's a quick trim on the old barnet. Looks a little bit better. So now I've got to go and do a bit of food shopping now. The house is literally bare with food. So next stop, Mercadona, and stock up those cupboards. I actually forgot. I was about to make my way to the supermarket and then I remembered I've got to pick my wife up from the nail salon. I dropped her at the nail salon and she's still there. I think I'm going to have to wait about an hour though. But I've had to park about 15 minutes away from the salon. That's the problem with these little towns in Spain. There's just no parking, and the parking is... This is out of season, this is only April. And there's no parking. So you can imagine what it's like during the summer months in these towns that are down on the coast here. It's just impossible to park. But anyway, let me cross because I'm near the salon now and go and pick the wife up. Love these berries. €3.35. They're brilliant in in the breakfast. I really like those in the oats with some strawberries and peanut butter and stuff like that. Great breakfast. That's good as well. Look, massive punnet sold of strawberries. Huge punnet. €3.81. It's good value for how many you're getting in there. Really, really good.